In this lecture, we're going to go over the basics of drawing as well as the basic tools you're going to need to complete this course. So right here on this page, you'll see I have typed fundamentals are not the only thing, they're everything. So what does this mean? Well, this means that it's all about the fundamentals. People want little tricks, people want tools, they want these shortcuts to become a great artist. And the thing is, there are no shortcuts. So even if you learn a really cool painting technique, if you don't know how to draw, it's not going to look good at all. So you need to know how to draw because it's part of the fundamentals. The first part of drawing that you need to learn is lines. So right here, you'll see I have a bunch of examples of different lines. So we have straight lines, we have curved lines, we have S lines, and we even have swirly S lines. So there's all different types of lines, and these are really important. Now, of course, lines make everything up. Lines make shapes up, they make everything. But there's even more to lines than that. So you'll see here in this example, lines make up the perspective of this building. It's all about the direction of the line that creates the perspective. Here's another example of use of line. So right here, you'll see these lines are creating the motion of this girl. Now, let's say we were drawing this girl. Before we drew her, probably what we would do is sketch out the lines of her motion. So you'll see here, you have the center line, which makes up her spine and her neck, and that's showing the motion of her entire body. So it's a nice curved line. Then we have a line here that's making up the shoulders, and two lines that make up the swooshing curves of her arms. And we even have a line that her eyes follow. So lines are the fundamentals of drawing. This is the thing that you really want to get good at. The next thing is shapes. Shapes are the next fundamental. Now, there are four basic shapes: square, circle, triangle, and trapezoid. How do we use shapes in drawing? Well, there's a lot of different ways we use them, and we'll get way more into that later in the course. But for now, you just need to understand that everything is created out of simple shapes. So this girl's head is a simple shape, her body is a simple shape. The next part of the fundamentals of drawing is the form. So what is form? Form is the three-dimensional part of drawing. So right here, you'll see I have three examples of three-dimensional shapes. We have a cube, a sphere, and a cone. Now, there's all different types of ways that you can convey the different dimensions of a shape. So with the cube and the cone, it's obviously three-dimensional because you can tell by the way the lines are shaped. But with the sphere, if we just had a sphere drawn without any shadow or light, it would just look like a circle. So the way we can convey the form of our sphere is by drawing these lines that are all over it that allow us to see where the form of our circle is. The next fundamental is value. So value is just how light or how dark something is. So right here you'll see we have an example of a photograph of a tomato. And this tomato has many different values in it. In some areas it has white, such as the highlight around the top of it. And in some areas it's black, such as the shadow of the tomato. And then other areas have a mid-tone, which would be a middle gray, such